is for the greater good.
Greater good.
Last we left off, our adventurers had made it to the port town of Mahat in search of refilling their supplies for their adventure north. While relaxing in the tavern, right as they had made it to town, a little girl runs in asking for help and assistance. The house that she lives in is on fire, and you take up arms and go and try to save those who have been trapped. Through battling the fire and grabbing the 3 people who you found in the burning buildings, you managed to take them to safety and get them the healing they needed, as help quickly came and put out the flames. After all the flames have been smothered and all of you have also regained your health, you venture back into the burned household, meet the captain, and do a little investigating of your own. Mihara goes off by himself in search of clues that might lead to why the fire has been started. We have Oralina and Fertile Roses go straight forward where their 2 women were found, barely alive in the smoke. And Red turns to go to the bedroom where the father of the little girl was found sleeping in the bed. With that, you are all heading towards the same bedroom to see what you can discover there. So you guys all walk, or I believe we were all walking towards the lower bedroom. Our little tokens aren't there, but Fertile Roses and Oralina were down in this area investigating the locked door that was there. Yep, and you are over there. Go. And then Red was coming up behind. So before you all convene, I know we had talked at the very end about going to the bedroom. Is there anything else you would like to do in your locations? I believe that's where we left off. It's been a hot minute.
It has.
And I yeah. Oh.
I know we had found out that 2 separate fires were most likely started.
Mm-hmm.
I find it odd that the women were from this house, but they didn't have the key to unlock the door that they were trapped in.
And one of the neighbors was sus, like the old lady.
Yeah, the old lady asked to be locked up.
Like a friend or something.
Martha May.
Oh, I don't think I had her name on here.
Martha May, crazy old lady.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. She was the one helping the mother.
Yep,
correct.
They were in the barn, and Fertile pulled a dude in the bedroom out.
The daughter knows her as her mom's friend.
Right. I guess as far as my room or whatever I've been searching is concerned, I think I had found everything that I had planned on finding. That made it sound like I know what's going on. I couldn't think of anything else to question or look for myself, so...
Okay.
I guess my plan was to exit around that time.
I think the only thing I have left on mine was what I'd be curious about once we get to the bedroom and stuff. I had some notes of, like, when we return.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a smart idea.
Well then, let us move you all a little bit closer to that bedroom.
Yeah, and I think I was just hanging out because the 2 guys that were there, like, were waiting for the chief.
Yeah, they were still kind of cleaning up some of the rubble that was there, anything dangerous, smoldering bits of wood, stuff like that, when you walked in there.
Well, are we under the impression that this is still murder?
Well, attempted murder. I mean, I don't think anyone died.
Very true.
So the captain went to go forward, go talk to his men, and they kind of have a small little discussion, and the two guys walk out and leave. And he kind of goes back to where they were and looking through all the burned remains himself. He's kind of ignoring you guys.
Well, I believe I found something that would be perhaps the motive as to why this occurred.
Oh.
What'd you find?
What is that?
They had a logbook in the back room that detailed the comings and goings of their goods. And at least one page was missing, if not maybe another. And this was probably 2 weeks ago. Maybe a little bit longer.
Is the missing page like the last page? Is it in the middle? Is it in the beginning?
Right, that's the point, is what I realize is that we've got something from about a month ago, something from around 2 weeks ago, and then in between that month and 2 weeks there's a missing page or so. So I believe whatever was on this page is what was meant to be silent from them.
Well, hot dang, we got a murder.
Attempted murder.
Attempted murder, yes.
Okay,
There's.
okay.
This was
That line
definitely
was
planned
canon.
then.
I would like to look at the explosion that Red and I saw.
Right. It's also what I've been...
Yep. The captain's kind of moved. He's kind of looking around the bed, looking to see if there's anything there. The explosion happened right on the edge where that desk was. It's very obvious because right here, right next to him would be... Oh, right here.
Oh.
Down by my guy.
Oh, right. This is the kitchen.
So it's kind of a small
That's
place.
where I'm
I'll
at.
put him on the bed. There we go.
Okay. Wait, that's the captain? He's hanging out in there?
He's searching the bed right now,
Okay.
How many?
seeing if he can find what started the fire over here besides the explosion, which very much... But he's also doing a search. He's not like cutting open the mattress and stuff like that, but he's just kind of going through to see if there's anything that would leave hints as to why the fire started.
How many beds are there in the bedroom?
There is one rather large bed in this room.
Or was at least.
Was a large bed.
It looked like it would have been big enough for the whole family to sleep on together then?
It looks big enough for about 2 people. It'd be pretty easy to tell the difference size-wise. But yeah, even through the charred remains, you can tell this looks like it's big enough for 2 people, maybe a full queen-size mattress.
Where did the daughter sleep?
That's why I was
Where did
asking.
the little girl sleep?
He's actually a werewolf and she sleeps under the bed. I'm kidding.
She's the boogeyman, grabbing the ankles.
Maybe sleeps in the kitchen, like in front of the hearth or something, because it's warm. Oh.
But as he's going through, he kind of moves past the bed. He's going along the outer wall.
I'll follow
Right
behind
now?
him and just kind of like look over his head at what he's looking at.
Rolling in perception would probably be better for this because you're trying to perceive what he is looking at.
Sure. Oh! First roll tonight looks pretty good.
Hey, it's not a
Fertile
one.
with that natural 20.
You know, it's either feast or famine with these dice on this one.
Yeah. So you can see him looking through. There's like a small little wardrobe. He kind of opens it. He doesn't take any of the clothes out, but he just kind of runs through just to see if there's anything like sticking out, any like hidden things. He sticks his hand in and runs his hand in the back to see if there's anything behind it. He reaches underneath the hutch to feel if there's anything underneath the hutch. He's not hiding it. You can tell he's kind of looking for triggers, traps, hidden doors. He's feeling around.
Seems you've had experience with fires? Has this been happening frequently?
Well, usually with fires started like this, meant to kill an entire group of people, they're trying to steal something. He's just still going. I don't know what they're trying, or just trying to see to make sure.
They did steal it, and then they just trying to cover their tracks up a little bit.
Yeah, good diversion. That's why I'm checking over here, away from the explosion.
Have you been to see the family yet? Are they up and about? Because they'd be able to tell us if something we're missing.
No, you have been here with him the entire time.
Is it still the
so
same?
He hasn't left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's like minutes.
I thought we stopped
a bit after they went to the hospital.
Okay.
No, you guys had like a short rest right outside in the street, across the street. And then you guys came in and he was still here.
I don't ask that then.
Sounds good.
While they're kind of looking at that, can I step back out into that outer room where the table and stuff is?
Mm-hmm.
I want to look around. Is there anything that indicates or shows that a small child lives here? Are there like doodles on the walls somewhere? Grimy little handprints somewhere? Anything by the hearth where, assuming maybe the child was not allowed into the bed, where do they sleep? Just kind of inspect the room.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Or, yeah, that'll work.
8.
Ooh. So, you look around. You don't see anything that shows that a child has lived here today. I mean, maybe at one point they did. At some point, you can tell that there are like pencil carvings very clearly on one of the floorboards.
Okay.
You can definitely see that there have been colored streaks and smears that have stained certain things that would be at a child's height. You can tell in other sense that a child has lived here. How recently, you do not know.
Okay.
Either a child or a very creative halfling.
Indeed.
So as Damien's going along the walls, he makes it to the end of the bedroom, the end of the scorch marks, and he kind of stands up and is like, well, there's really nothing hidden here. Do you mind if I go and check the explosion area?
Your investigation.
To be fair, you're the one in charge here.
Well, yes, but you're all in front of...
sorry, yes.
Oh, yes, and I'll just kind of rotate and continue to monitor him.
Yeah.
Takes half a step.
Yeah, because Fertile, you had said you were following him, so he kind of turns around and you're there.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll just like a quarter turn, let him by.
He nods to you, thank you kindly, and moves over and kind of goes through a very broken desk that you can see has a very direct point where the explosion was at almost the center point of the desk, so that it falls in at a V shape on either side. Were any of you over there while we were having I suppose, or Alina, you were the only one who didn't. And Mihara, did you do anything really? Because Fertile was following him, Red went into the other room.
I guess I would have been curious as to about where the little girl slept, because I specifically had asked about like the beds and stuff. Because yeah, I would have done that separately, not knowing what Red did or anything like that, or anyone else. So just like, so where did she sleep?
Yeah, I haven't rolled for that either.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, before we move forward.
I trust my teammates when they say they're going to look for something.
Well, I am, like I said, I was specifically asking about that, and that was in my notes of like, where did she sleep? How many beds are there? Ask about the little girl.
Which room would you like to search? So you saw Red go up into the other room.
I'm going to start in the bedroom, and then I'm just going to kind of fan out from there.
Are you just kind of scanning the room like Red did, or would you like to actually go and investigate certain area?
Investigate and look, because honestly, right now I'm kind of suspicious of the little girl. I don't know why. That's all I have in my notes. I know it's been like 2 weeks because of COVID, but all I know is that for some reason I was curious about the little girl, so I'm going to go with this.
You have a right to be suspicious. You don't know this little girl. Who is she?
And there's no bed for her, which is weird.
So where would you like to search?
First, I'm going to start in the room here where the other bed is. Maybe there was a spot there that burned up or something, and then I'll just, after, if I don't find, depending on what I find, I'll just go around from like room to room.
Are you going into the room? Like,
yeah.
Do you want to search the desk area, the bed, the little armoire area? There's kind of like 3 main sections of the room to search.
I'll start over closest to the bed and work my way across.
Okay, perfect.
First.
Well then, starting at the bed, I'll have you roll an investigation check.
Ooh, investigation, because that's real fantastic for me. Oh, goody, a 6.
So as you walk over to the bed, this bed is gross. It was probably one of the most flammable things in the room. Most likely the mattress was stuffed with hay with some levels and stuff like that. So as you're going through it, you're just kind of not trying to get all of the dirt and rubble all over you. You don't really find evidence of where she might have slept. You don't find like a teddy bear in the bed or anything.
And as a bonus, the fire burned away all the lice.
I mean, yeah.
It does have its benefits.
It's an extermination gone wrong.
Or
You
very
found it,
right.
guys.
You don't know how big that spider was. Well, do we need to hang around for this? I mean, we saved the people and the fire's out now. What time of day is it right now?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mid-morning?
Right now, it is just becoming evening.
Check that. That's right. We stayed at the inn for the morning.
You did.
And had
you
lunch.
left the inn around
Yeah, we had lunch.
1, then the fire happened, and you've been investigating. Yeah. So it's like 3, 4 maybe?
I guess, Red, the question becomes, how much do we trust the captain to divulge the information we found?
I mean, it's his town. We're not from here.
That's a fair point, too.
Not to question your responsibilities there, Captain.
No worries. I'm wrapping up here.
Did you learn anything about the explosion?
The only thing I learned, and he stands up and he picks up what appears to be a metal canister of some sort, kind of thing. He's like, I found this, and it is like split open, say a backfired cartoon gun cannon would do. This appears to be the center cause of it. Beyond that, I can't really see much. Maybe tomorrow we'll come back in and clean it up a little bit to see if we can find anything a little better. But try not to get hurt by the rubble, because if I'm out of commission, who's going to do the investigation?
Fair point. Captain, just to kind of fill you in on everything that I've discovered while poking around in the other half of the building, it seems whatever business they were running seems to probably be the cause of why this fire happened. Whatever shipment they took in recently or acquired wanted to be hushed. There's a few pages missing from their logbook.
Can I see the logbook, please?
Yes, it's in the back room, and I will show him that direction. I don't believe I actually picked it up and took it.
Nope, I believe you did leave it on the desk.
Yeah.
So he follows you over to the storeroom, and he picks up the logbook and he's paging through it, and he gets to the same spot that you did where there was the page missing. It's like, I'm going to take this back, look into it. But it doesn't seem like they traded anything illegal ever. And
right.
If you recall, you found that it was mainly, goods, a couple of weapons, none of which were illegal, so...
Right. The one that did kind of seem interesting to me was the sword, and I'll go shuffle back through their wares and pull up the box that contained that sword.
Ah. He looks at it, and he's like,
On the older
interesting
side, yes,
looking.
but still a fine blade, I believe.
It is a pretty fine blade. And he comes over and he shuts the lid, but he doesn't take it with him. He says, do you guys need anything else here? Otherwise, I do have the keys for this place. I found them burned in the burned room. I'll lock this place up before I leave. But if it's still here after the fire, I doubt whoever did this is coming back for it.
Fair point.
So he...
in here, but I can confirm with the rest of the group.
Sorry, I missed that. I was saying something.
I don't believe we need anything else in here, but I can confirm with the rest of the group.
Sounds good. If you wouldn't mind, I'll lock the door behind us and hold up the keys.
Okay. And I'll leave through.
Yeah, and he backs out, locks it. It takes him about 3 keys before he figures out which one it is for this exact door, because he does not live here. And he eventually locks it. So he turns to the other room. The one door was still locked, so he didn't bother locking it, but he does close the door and put the latch back down in front of the other room before he rejoins. So Mihara, you will get to the group before he does, because he's going to make sure all the buildings are locked.
Is there anything else we needed to bring the captain in on?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I do assume he's going to talk with the family.
Presumably, yes. He's planning on locking up. That's why I asked. I didn't think we had anything else we needed to do in here, so figured it was his investigation and would leave him to it.
You can hear him lock the door right behind you guys, right by the bedroom, and he goes up to the second door, kind of stops. You can hear him just stop and pause. The door is open, so he just kind of pauses there, is waiting for you guys.
All right, well, I'll make my way towards the exit.
Yeah, if we're done, I mean, there's no point in staying here.
He leans in. Coming? Gonna lock it. Got 2 doors. And as all of you come out, he locks that door, goes up to the kitchen, locks that door. He turns back to the horse and takes one of the buckets, fills the water trough inside. It looks like someone has already put a fresh hay bale in there before they left. And he turns and follows you guys towards the door. Gotta make sure they're taken care of. They don't seem like bad folks, so hopefully we figure this out and they don't have to worry anymore.
When are you planning on speaking with the family?
Right after I go and drop off some of the evidence at headquarters. Then I'll be going up to go see them. Give them a little time to rest, recover, and then I'll go talk to them before I bring up traumatic events again. Some of my men have gone and done the preliminary questions, so.
Is there any reason why we can't join you?
No, feel free. Ever been to this town before? I can show you around a little bit.
That'd actually be nice.
I rather like that idea.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, so he waves you in and heads back down the same direction that you saw that cart come from while you guys were waiting outside in the street for them to come help. Heads back that same way, turns down to the left, walks a few more buildings down. You kind of get almost to the point where you can see the water before he turns left again and goes a little bit diagonal towards the water, and there's a nice little building, jail attached, pretty clean cut. One of the better taken care of buildings in this entire town. Brings you in. There's a couple of guards standing out front. You see a, for lack of a better term, wanted board on the outside. And he leads you in. He goes up the staircase to a single room that is his office. There's 2 chairs, one for him, very modest desk, and a chair for a guest or whoever would be in a meeting with him. And as well as a wooden chest behind him with a lock. And he unlocks it and he takes out 2 small pouches as well as that book, the logbook. Puts them in, locks it, turns back, he's like, I got some paperwork to fill out. Feel free to go talk to any of the men that might have already talked to the family. I don't know if they've came back yet. Otherwise, I gotta write some stuff up, log it down before this mind forgets.
Understandable. We will leave you to your business for now.
No worries. I'll be going back in the morning. If you want to come meet me in the morning, I'll be going back right around dawn. Don't want to leave the crime scene for too long unattended.
So the real question becomes, what do we need, or should we go talk to the other guards? Do you think they have anything important? Anything that could be useful to us?
Decide that we're going to become involved?
Our job was, to bring Howard north. Like, this seems like a distraction. I know they say they're in no rush, but didn't we all agree to escort them?
We did. I think we decided to change the timetable slightly on that when we determined that murder might have been at hand. But I guess that does beg the question now. I mean, the captain seems relatively able. And as you stated before, this isn't necessarily our mission. This isn't what we were brought in to do.
And the whole eyeball thing, that's weird.
I mean,
It's very weird.
it is very weird.
Weirder than everyday murder.
That's also a very good point.
That canister didn't look in. It held the eyeballs before, right? I meant to ask earlier.
No, I think it was a smaller
Okay.
canister kind of thing. Not a big eyeball tank.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was. It was like
That
a
work?
killer. Oh, there you go.
It's not better.
Hey. All of a sudden I was like, there's sound coming out of the TV and not my headphones. That's interesting.
Nice. For clarification, the canister at the crime scene was not eyeball cylinder shaped, right? Or like not the same size. It was.
Not similar in any way.
No, think can of beans,
Gotcha.
Okay. Good.
to be generic.
Yes, can of.
Yeah,
syrup.
about that size, metallic.
Roll that generic bean footage.
Oh boy, that one was rough.
I'm probably grasping at things, but I feel like we should probably make sure that the eyeball thing is in some way connected. Like, what if what they were transporting happened to be glass tanks of eyeballs, and they just didn't realize it?
Did the little girl have both her eyes?
Oh my god, I didn't even think to look.
I don't think anybody
no.
thought to
Roll an
look.
insight check.
Does the captain have both of his eyes?
You have to go back
Oh,
to
we gotta
his
start
memory
looking at
for it.
people. I'll roll one for sure. History, you said?
Heck yes.
Insight disadvantage because you're trying to pull
Oh.
up a memory instead of seeing someone in front of you.
Insight, you say?
Disadvantage. Oh god. Okay. It's an 8.
I don't like
Red's
to
got
roll
that.
my-
16.
Yeah, you guys seem to remember she had 2 eyes.
Oh, thank goodness.
How about the
What
dude in
color
the
they
bed when I was
were, you
stealing
weren't
it?
quite sure of.
Did everyone we helped have eyeballs with a 16?
Yes, everyone
At least
you
one.
helped had 2 eyes.
Okay.
Well, we
Including
don't
the crazy
actually-
neighbor?
We don't know about the gentleman because he was unconscious.
You are correct. You do not know about the man in the bed.
I healed him, didn't I? I brought him back to consciousness.
Yeah. From what you recall, everybody had 2 eyes. There were 8 sets of eyes, a child and 4 adults. 8 eyes, 8 sets. Oh boy, 4 sets, 8 eyes. Math. Wow.
Not every day you have to calculate for eyeballs. It's fine.
No. But hey, I'll take it. That's a calculation I am willing to make. Everyone did have their eyes. It doesn't take much to go back and be like, nope, after that encounter, you looked everyone in the eye when you spoke to them. Eyes.
We looked everyone in the eye. Gotcha.
Yeah. I added the B plural on the end. But
It's just something nagging at me. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think
you do recall that they were taken to the nearby church. The family was. You're in the. Are you guys still in the sheriff's office, or did
I
you
think
go
we would have
down?
left his
No, those
office
ones are mine.
itself. We'd still be at the station, if you will. Or like
Yeah.
their,
come on.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Not
headquarters.
building in
of
general, but yeah.
The guard.
Right.
One of the headquarters, I should say. Because they would have like outposts where they could have, groups and stuff.
More precincts and things like that.
Yeah.
The modern term to it.
Yep, exactly. This is the Capitol building in a lot of districts. Anyway, but you can go down there. There is like a little like lobby area where there are a couple wooden chairs and a couple benches. But it's not really furnished. There's no art hanging on the walls. You can see where the jail kind of goes off to the side.
I feel like when we eventually get money, we need to start supplying this place with the tapestry.
Money, you can gain crafting skills.
Oh.
Ooh. Proficient with loom.
Okay.
Can weave your guys' own clothing.
Well, I mean, if it make you all feel better, at the very least, we can go to the church and check in on everyone. I mean, I think we would get more out of it than questioning the captain's guards. I mean, he's in charge. He seems to know the most.
The difficult thing will we be allowed to see them?
It's a church. I don't see
We're
why
their
not.
rescuers. Why
Sure.
would they not want to see us?
Well, it's not necessarily that they don't want to see us, but if we're allowed to see them.
Oh, I think
Depending
we
on
can make
privacy
our
and
way. things
things of that nature, if they'll allow us in. A ragtag group of adventurers and such.
I want all of you, well, except for Red, I'm sorry, I'm going to leave you out of this because you
All
would
good.
not know. All of you to roll a history check to see if you can kind of gleam with them referencing
Ooh,
church
an
and not
18.
saying which mother it belonged to. If you can kind of gleam as to what kind of worship goes on in this area.
We'll make our way that way.
Yeah. So as you guys are walking and you're kind of trying to go through your memory and remembering, okay, I know people who have been here before, and all of you have met people of different faiths. You know the two predominant ones are going to be the Dark Mother and the Pale Mother in this section of the world. There are a few smaller temples to the other mothers, but mainly the only other one that people worship in this city is going to be the Bright Mother. So the polar opposite of both of what you are. All three, both. There's three of you.
So you said this city was primarily for the Bright Mother?
No, mainly for the
Oh.
Dark and the
Dark.
Pale Mother. There are smatterings of all of them and smaller ones, but the third one that is less predominant than those two would be the Bright Mother. Two tied at top, one in second place. Everything else kind of falls below.
Gotcha.
So as you walk forward to this temple, this one is in fact a temple to the Pale Mother. And it is very obvious by the very large circular opal at the top of the door frame. So instead of a stained glass window, it is a beautiful glittering gem in the setting sun. It actually looks really beautiful right now because the sun is just starting to set. And the doors are closed in front, but there is no like visible lock from the outside.
All right, well, I will walk up and open the door.
It opens without a sound, very easily swings open. It feels a lot lighter than you thought it would, with how large it is. It swings open and there is candlelight throughout the interior of this room. It looks like a standard kind of chapel with two doors in the very back that lead behind.
Gotcha. Is anyone present? Just kind of poking my head in quick. Do I see any movement or any people?
Yeah, you can see a couple of robed figures at the very far end. You can see one of them walk out to join the other two, so now there are three. And as they do that, they kind of turn around and see someone coming in with the light coming in the doorway. And they're like, well, come in. We accept everyone here.
I think we're good, everyone. And I will walk through the door, pause before fully entering, fist to my breast, and do a bow before continuing forward.
All three of them return the same exact gesture to you as well. And they greet you with open arms, saying, well, what brings you to our temple today?
Well, I heard there were a few individuals that were recently brought in that suffered a house fire, and we were hoping to maybe speak with them.
Yes, definitely. Yes, they're all awake, doing well. That little one has been running around. She's already broken one chair. We'll see how the night goes. But they're recovering. Come with us. And two of them lead you guys back through the door where the one actually came out of. The other one stays behind and appears to be like folding some tapestry of some sort, some cloth of some sort, packing some stuff up that looks like from either prayers or a ceremony that they did of some sort. But with that, we're going to take a small break if that's okay. Before we get into this seems like a good place to stop it, get our kids
as well, yeah,
settled for the evening before we dive in. There are several shoutouts we would like to give tonight, starting with the amazing character art made by Bravaxxii. You can find them at fiverr.com/Bravaxxii. Next, we have our beautiful world map made by Pnosaur. You can also find them at fiverr.com/Pnosaur. Up next, we have our gorgeous animated maps. You can find them at patreon.com/Dynamic Dungeons. We also have several shoutouts for our background music that we use. So we would like to give many thanks to Bethesda, Obsidian Entertainment, CDProjektRed, and Owlcat Games for the use of their music. Lastly, for our virtual tabletop, we are using Foundry VDT. You can find them at foundryvtt.com. Over 5,000 years ago, life and time within the cosmos began to decay and unravel. Imminent destruction caused by the hatred, greed, sin, and power within mortals spread throughout every world. In life's greatest time of need, the 8 mothers descended from the heavens with their celestial hosts. They judged the souls of the living and chose only the purest to join them on their journey to salvation. They took those worthy with them, cupped within the mother's own hands. Those chosen from every world began their journey through the cosmos until they came to the mother's gift, the world of Lamel. Found on harmony between all of forms of life, the mothers ever watch over them from the heavens above. Lamel is divided into 4 continents, each protected by 2 of the mothers. As each of the 8 took their watch among the mortals, their chosen cathedrals influenced the Octush cities to form as safe havens to those dedicated to those mothers, and to any seeking refuge in their loving embrace. Each mother had the same request of the mortals and enforced it. Technological advancement was forbidden, as it had a direct link to the destruction of the old worlds, as well as dark magics that were seen to draw evil into this world. After the Eight issued their decrees over the first 1,000 years walking among the mortals, they ascended into the heavens once more to observe from afar. Together they created a divine shield around the world, hiding them from the darkness. They are always silently protecting, diligently watching, and striking those down who dare tempt to bring evil to the world. 1,000 years has passed since their ascent, 2,000 years after arriving on Lamel, and the mortals' lives move forward without the direct influence of the mothers. Everyone went their own ways, led their own lives, and eventually got farther and farther from being as pure as their ancestors. Younger generations began to veer from the decrees issued by the mothers and began dabbling in the forbidden arts. Darkness slowly began seeping through the divine shield created by these mortals' ignorance, with the fear that once again the evil would destroy their sanctuary. Two of the mothers came down from their heavenly home to cast out those with ill intent, while the others repaired the damage that darkness wrought on the divine shield protecting the world. They called forth the sun and the moon to vanquish all of those tainted by evil with a single burst of purifying light. This was known as the regeneration and caused distrust among the mothers. The mothers' magic not only eliminated the darkness within their mortal souls, but also any of the younger generations of mortals of Lamel, who had gradually allowed darkness into their hearts. Over the next 3,000 years, the mothers appeared to have successfully kept darkness from the world with that regeneration, and Lamel remained in harmony. Oracles were appointed within each cathedral, serving as the word of the mothers, but most of the messages came back cryptic and often in odd languages only the oracles understand. The position of oracle is not a permanent position and has changed hands as one steps down, handing off their knowledge to a chosen successor. All had been quiet and peaceful for centuries, until almost 800 years ago the skies caught fire high above the continent of Coruscant. Along with it, outsiders have slowly trickled in. Some resembled those that already populated Lamel, and there are those that were different. It is only within the last 150 years that this has come to light. And there are those that our new party has already met. Welcome to For the Greater Good. Welcome back. Our group of adventurers, last we left off, were investigating a mysterious fire. There are a couple of different points where the fire was started. And as you guys wrapped up the investigation at the building, you followed the captain back to his office. He locked up a few things of evidence that you have found at the site, and turn to you guys and let you guys go along your way, informing you that he will be going back in the morning and you are welcome to join him. You left the office and headed towards the church, where you were going to meet up with the family that you saved in the temple to the Pale Mother. You walk into this room behind the building, and it's set up like a makeshift medical quarters. There are a couple of cots set up. You can see they are all occupied right now with the 3 people. The 4th cot is occupied by a child, a little girl that you recognize, kind of bouncing up and down, waiting around, having a pretty good time. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I guess
Yes.
I've gotten us through the door, so I'm not the greatest with interrogation isn't quite the right word, but questioning individuals.
Are you saying you're not good with children or other people in general?
I'm not saying other people in general. It's just questioning them is not high on my list of things to do all the time. But if need be, I can take them.
The 2 members who brought you into this room, they go up to each of them, make sure everyone's okay, before they turn back to all of you. And, well, they're all happy to talk if you would like to come speak with them. They're doing pretty well. Thanks to your efforts, they are quite lucky. And they turn to you specifically, Mihara, and they say, if you need anything, we are always welcome to helping our brothers. And they kind of bow to you again, and they walk off.
Well, good to know. I'd smile, but nobody would see it, so I do anyway.
Your eyes smile.
Right.
It's true.
Well, I will go take a spot next to the mother, and kind of kneel down, assuming it's like cot level, so it'd be lower to the ground. Is it just me? You guys coming as well? Or?
I'm just kind of standing in awe of this place.
I'm in there.
I'll come.
Is the old man in there as well?
Well, we don't know if he's an old man, right? Or
Well,
The father.
Man.
yeah, he's the father. He does have a little bit of a graying facial hair, slightly graying hair, but you would guess, probably just around 50. He's not old, as I have been reprimanded for, but he's about halfway to 100.
Well, you answered my question in the description. I was wondering if he had any hair left, being asleep on that bed.
Some. Just as
Well, you can tell, like, he was on the bed, so he was laying on part of his hair, so you can definitely tell that more of one side of his head is singed than the other side. Yeah, so he has, like, a weird hairdo going on. Yeah, you guys did save him, and he did have some hair left over, not completely gone. But you walk up, as you go up to the mother, she kind of just situates herself, pulls herself up a little bit on her elbows, and immediately as you walk towards her, thank you. I don't know how we can ever repay you.
Well, in truth, it wasn't I who saved you, but rather these 3. They acted in heroism in a time of need. We do have questions, though, if you have time.
Yes. We answered the guard as best as we could, but I will try to answer any questions you have.
I often find that in these sort of situations that first-hand information is best. Although the guards might be trustworthy, it's always good to hear it from the source. So apologies for anything that you end up repeating.
Are you not with the guard?
Not directly.
Well, hopefully you can help them figure this out then if you're working with them.
That's the hope. A couple of my friends here found it odd that you were locked in a room in your own home, if you will. Do you remember how that happened?
Yes. We were in the room going through some of the herbs that Martha, she points over there, she's kind of napping, relaxing, breathing slowly, but you can tell she's awake because once in a while she'll smile over at the little girl. And Martha and I were looking through a few of the spices. We had came in through the big doors, and I don't know how it happened, but the doors closed behind us and we couldn't get out. And then under the door, that's where the fire came from. And everything caught ablaze. The room was full of dried rosemary and other medicinal herbs, as well as a few tree barks, some cedar. We were trapped. Once the flames rolled in, there was nothing we could do.
Sounds horrible.
Insight check.
On which one?
Roll an insight check.
No.
Hold on. Oh, no, wrong thing. Nope, still in awe of the building. Not paying attention.
She's saying something real truthful, but this is beautiful. You have been paying attention. You can see all the phases of the moon carved along the top of the walls. The floor is a white polished marble. It's beautiful in here. As plain as it is, it's beautiful. So as she says this, she kind of looks to Martha and she's like, she got the worst of it. She was next to the flames, next to the desk when the flames took over.
And I am always in awe of what the priests of the Pale Mother are able to do. You were in a very frightful state when we last saw you, and now you are alert. In bed, but alert.
I'm happy to be so. I haven't taken much faith in any of the mothers, but I am always pleased to see that there is kindness. When she says that, I would like you, Mihara, to roll an insight check.
Sure.
She says it to you, and it is one of the most genuine things you have heard from somebody. As she says it, you notice that she kind of reaches her hand towards you to try to just touch your hand, any part of you that's closer to her. Are you sitting close enough for her to do that?
Yeah, I would say I'm kneeling fairly close to her cot, so I don't know if necessarily hands on what I would consider a hospital rail or any means, but probably yeah, it would be definitely within arm's reach.
Yeah, so she reaches out and she kind of touches your bicep, and when she says this, And you can feel some sort of genuine thankfulness from this, in the sense of she has seen the Pale Mother at work, and she is very thankful that there is someone who has faith to bring this kindness into the world. And since you have the Pale Mother emblem with you, she associates you with this place as well.
I appreciate the gesture, but I think such an honor should be placed on those in the building aside from myself. They're the ones that pulled off this miracle. They're the ones that helped you through it.
With that, she looks up to the remaining 3 of you in the room, and she says, "Thank you. Do we have names to put to your faces so we know who to tell our friends to thank for us?"
I'm Orilena, and this one here is he's being modest, but he was the first one to bring somebody out of the building. I mean, if he doesn't want to tell you his name, I'm not gonna say it for him, though. Same with the others.
I'm Fertile. Nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that forever.
It's perfect. Oh boy. She smiles and she says, "Well, my name's Julie, and Marcus is my husband over there, and our daughter over there, that's Claire. She made us proud today, and she found the right people to come and help."
Well, to finish off the bits of introduction, I'm Mihara, and I would agree your daughter was very brave, coming to seek help.
I'm glad that she was able to do so. I don't know how the door closed, but it was from the outside. She was playing in the yard.
Do you remember anything strange coming in a shipment recently? I guess just to be very forward with the information, your logbook was missing some pages. Probably about 2 to 3 weeks back. If there was anything that happened around that time that might have caused this.
You can hear a groan from the bed across the room where the husband has been laying, where Marcus is laying. He goes, "Ugh. All of our inventory from what we've gathered is gone. That would, one page about 2 weeks ago would have been everything we've been gathering throughout the last few months to bring back and sell. That's the page to tell me what I have. And if there were special orders, where it was going."
Was there anything in particularly odd or something that would have stood out of that log then?
Not a ton. I mean, we did travel north. We went up to the Silence, the desert in the north. Gathered some of the sands there, as we do about once a year. And we were bringing those back. We gathered all of the different plants that we could to bring back for medicines through the potion makers here. I can't think of anything specific. I could go see if there's anything missing, but it's pretty normal from what we usually have.
Is anything out of that particularly rare or valuable that might have caused someone to commit such a crime to obtain?
Rare, yes. Valuable, not so much. The sand specifically is pretty valuable. It's a very vibrant yellow in color, and there's only 2 places where it is found. But I don't see why they would do an entire arson for sand. It's just used for paint. I need Mihara to roll a religion check. So as he's talking about this sand, and as soon as he says that it's used for paint, you do remember something from working in the temples. The paint that usually has this very specific colored sand is only used in the cathedrals by the oracles and those that directly serve them.
Interesting. I'm not positive if we have any more questions at this time, but thank you. At the very least, thank you. I know recovery is not necessarily easy, especially after a fire. So again, your time is appreciated. I'll look over to Red. Can you think of anything that we might have missed, something that might be important that you would like to ask them?
Red has pretty much just been running his hands over the stone and like just admiring this place. Not unless you thought there was anything weird with that. No. Would you have told us about the sword?
I mentioned the sword to you guys. I have not brought it up to them.
Not unless you think there was anything up with that sword. I mean, it was still there. If it was arson and theft, probably would have taken that. That was a nice weapon.
Well, that was my thinking as well.
Which sword? I do have a couple still in rotation.
I think it was one that was acquired very recently. Recently is a relative term. It was in a long, thin kind of box. Looked old, perhaps more than 50 years, and has seen some damage to it. A little bit of dents, little nicks. Definitely has been used.
Yes, that is a sword. It's a +1 rapier that I had a request to retrieve for a client of mine. It's nothing special, but it meant a lot to him, so I bought it and I was on my way back.
Well, on the plus side, it's still in your store.
My client will be very pleased. Do you have the logbook with you by chance?
No. I believe that was put into evidence.
That makes sense.
This arson is something a little bit more.
Well, hopefully it helps. But I'm gonna have to go look at that before long to see what exactly my losses are.
do have a question for you, sir. Any particular reason why you were sleeping during the day?
Yeah, we
And during that
had
heat.
just gotten. Huh?
Though it's really hot, right?
The fire?
Yeah, like how did he not notice is I guess my question.
Right. So he turns. He's like, "Well, I had just finished a bunch of work, and I had gotten back and decided to take a little nap in the back room while Martha and my wife were working, and my daughter Claire was out in the yard playing. It was a good, quiet time. There was no one in the house, and I fell asleep. I don't remember the fire. I remember it waking up, being it really warm, and then falling back to sleep."
Interesting.
Turtle, I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you're very good with children. Do you think maybe their daughter saw something?
You know, that's a very good thought. I could certainly talk with her. I do figure myself somewhat of an expert out of the four of us. Would it be alright if I spoke with your daughter?
Yes, of course. See Claire very excited that you guys are now talking to her. You seem very proper, and she sees heroes in her eyes. So she is very excited to be spoken to.
I would like to basically crisscross applesauce by the bed next to her to try and get as low as possible to her height. And just say, you did a very brave thing today. And you come and found us when we needed, when your folks needed help.
You answered. Not the other doors. No one was home and no one answered. But you guys, you came right away.
Of course. Your mother had mentioned you were out playing in the courtyard. Can you tell me what prompted you to come running?
Well, I was playing, and then I went over to see Maxie, and we were playing, and then all of a sudden he didn't want to play anymore. He got very skittish. And within a few seconds, all of a sudden I heard a loud boom. And then I saw a person, I don't know who, in a black cloak run out the door. And I ran to go and try and see, but everything was so hot, and there was smoke, and there was fire. So I ran because it was scary.
Absolutely it was, but you were very brave. Now,
I tried. I learned from my dad.
This cloaked figure in black. Tall? Taller than you? Tall like me?
Tall like you. Meaning she believes to be between 6.5 feet ish.
Okay. I fancy myself 7 feet tall, so.
She is rather small. Everyone's very tall to her.
Okay.
So it's right around that area.
Did you say it was just a cloaked figure, not couldn't tell if it was masculine or feminine? I missed that bit,
Yep.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, she couldn't really tell if it was male or female. She just could tell it was a rather tall figure in a very dark cloak.
They ran out your front door? Or?
Yes.
What? Okay.
As soon as I got to the street, I didn't see anybody. Not even that figure. I don't know who they are, but I think they're a bad person.
Oh, most certainly. Do your parents ever have arguments behind closed doors that maybe you've heard?
I haven't heard anything. It's a pretty small house. They've yelled at me for writing on things that I shouldn't, but other than that.
Mm-hmm. How about, do your parents ever frequently talk about anyone who they're concerned about, or names that they mention frequently?
No. They mentioned Martha. Martha perks up and she kind of waves. Yes, I'm her friend. I have met them in many cities. Claire goes back and but they have a lot of friends from all over Lukir. I've seen so many places, but no one's ever been mean to us.
Hmm. Hmm.
Where are you guys from? Have you traveled all over too? I've seen a lot of places.
We're starting to do the exploration thing, but I actually have a little girl about your age.
She gets all excited. She's like, where is she? Can I play with her?
No, she's back at home right now.
Most of my mom and dad's friends don't have anyone my age.
Hmm. Maybe someday we can come visit.
Ooh, yes. But I don't know where we'll be. We travel a lot.
Oh, I think we can have ways of finding where you're at.
She looks down. She kind of takes a little ribbon that's attached to her dress and she just rips it off. She hands it to you.
I immediately tie it to my staff by my feathers.
She's like, there. Now you have something so you can find me. And can I have something to find you?
Absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah, I got a lot of ostentatious gold on my person. I will similarly rip off a trim.
She gets excited and she takes it and tries to attach it to where she ripped hers off, and it's not working. So she ties it around her finger for now, and she holds it up. I know my mom put this on my dress.
Perfect. If you can remember anything about this figure that you saw, please let us know.
I will. I'll tell mom and dad, and they'll tell you guys. Or they'll tell the captain.
Yes.
Either way.
Did you tell the captain's guards about this gentleman that you saw?
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing they asked if I saw a person, and I said yes.
Okay. Okay. Where did you first meet Martha? What town were you guys visiting at the time?
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. All right.
She kind of looks over at her parents for a second, and neither of them seem to be paying her too much attention. They're kind of talking across the room to each other about, hopefully everything's okay, nothing's missing, business will be fine. She goes, well, it was a little town. It was south of Babe Quai in the northwest. I don't remember the name of the town, but they had some nice people, Martha being one of them. She also travels. She had been to the same places we had been. She has lots of cool stuff. When she says that, Martha from across the room, "Oh, stop it. Just because you like my little crafts doesn't mean everyone does."
Oh. Crafty, huh? I enjoy the
Takes-
crafts.
She takes out a little doll that she has made, and it looks like the little, I don't know what they're called. They're from, I believe, from Venezuela. I could be wrong. Anyway, but they're like little grass dolls that have fabric wrapped around them. They're called, I think, worry dolls or something like that. But they look like that. Not too big, a couple inches tall. And she's like, "I make these," and yes, she loves them. She has an entire village by now. And then you see Claire kind of go, "I hope they're still there. I don't want to lose all of them."
Oh, I'm sure Martha can supply you with more.
Well, then that'll just be where I have to stay. I'll have to go find all her dolls and help her make them. Is there anything else you would like to ask?
I want to learn more about this Martha, but I don't think she can tell us anything because she seems kind of senile. And I think this little girl is just too enchanted by her. Because it's not her grandmother, right? Like,
no, this is someone that is not related to the family. From what you can glean of the way they've been talking about her, it's a fellow merchant who used to travel around and get things that they have swapped stories with, tips and tricks on how to get certain things, kind of a friend helping out a new business partner, but a retired friend.
Maybe lost her husband sort of thing?
Yeah, like one of those, widow wandering around.
Widow confirmed.
Yeah, there you go. She just is kind of sitting on her bed, and she's been working on what you can see are a couple things. What you realize now, she was twisting like the grass to make the body for the dolls, and she had kind of sewn little tiny clothes and just little whatever she had in her pocket, just trying to make something to take the time while she's healing. As you guys are all still having these conversations, one of the priestesses comes in and she comes up to you and she's like, "Is there anything we can help you with? We're going to make sure everyone's okay and heal them anymore and distribute medicines if they need. But we do tend to not keep visitors through the night."
Very understandable. I think for the most part we've gotten what we need.
Yes, thank you very much for being so accommodating.
Yes, of course. We will always help those who help others.
This is a really nice stone house.
She kind of turns to you, nods. Yes, it's quite beautiful. And you can see her kind of like go from the taken aback to very touched that someone would say that about the place that she loves so much. She kind of turns and waves a hand as if inviting you to leave. She's not going to force you. But she is...
do have a question for you. If we could perhaps find a more private area. to discuss, at least not in the company of the merchants or their family.
Yes. There's a small room where we gather before ceremonies. If you'd like to come with me across the hall,
Sure. Gladly.
She turns, and as she does so, she does take out a key and walks to the other door across, unlocks it, opens it up. It's got a long kind of couch-esque bench, very beautifully carved with the phases of the moon. No padding, but it is a very beautiful wooden bench. And she leads you in. She turns to you and she's like, yes, you are free to speak as long as you close the door behind you.
Certainly, and I do so.
Does anyone else go with?
You guys are free to come with if you wish.
I wasn't going to, just to kind of, because I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it seemed like you wanted to speak to her alone.
Not alone, but not in front of the family.
Oh, see, you wouldn't mind if we came with.
I would go with.
Then yes,
Right.
If that's.
I feel like there's something else we need to be. I think we're missing something here.
Yeah, I feel like we are too.
100%, yeah.
What?
So I guess with the others in the room, for everybody that wanted to, I'd assume Red's still out admiring the size of this stone house, but I could be wrong.
I've moved on to the pews. I'll just kind of stay out there and keep admiring and kind of keep an eye on the family and such.
This.
So
family... Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as the door closes behind you, you are free to speak. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm. The merchants in the other room seem to deal in a very rare sand, specifically a yellow sand from the Silent Desert. I've got a small understanding of how that actually works. I know that the Oracle and some of her associates use these in ceremonies. Do you have any more information on that, specifically as to like what the ceremony would be about, or the particular use for a sand of such quality? Why someone might potentially try to kill for some?
Kill for it, I've never heard of. But I do know what you speak of. There are quite a few of these colors that are used, these elements, and she goes over to a small writing desk and opens it up, the front doors of it, and then takes out a piece of paper and she hands to you. Yeah, it's the writing they use from the mothers, and you can see on the front the different colors, and you recognize it from a very similar one that you have seen. It is how all of the letters start from the oracles that have came from the mothers, all of their messages.
Okay.
And she points to it. This is the yellow that they seek.
Understood. That was my biggest question that I had, was just trying to ascertain the true nature of where that's used.
Yes, it's used in holy writings, usually. It's not really valuable, it's sand, but to those who write with it and need it for pigments, specifically these holy ones, it is quite handy and it is rare. I don't know why anyone would want it besides an oracle.
Right. That's what had me curious as well. As for the family themselves, was it difficult to bring them into such a state that they are now? I know they were in very rough shape when we last saw them. Obviously the clerics here under the Pale Mother know what they're doing, but was it difficult?
To heal them?
To heal them would be one way to put it, yes. To yeah, heal them, I guess is the best way to put it.
It wasn't too difficult. They are practiced. And Martha's sister runs the apothecary up the street. So she's always willing to help us out, and we do have healing potions on hand for emergencies. But other than that, we haven't really had a problem with it. They've all taken very well to our healing. They all seem to be improving at tremendous speeds, and hopefully tomorrow they'll be able to go home.
Wonderful.
Is there anything else you need from us?
Not that I'm aware of. I apologize for the haste and the nature of this meeting and the brevity of it as well.
It was not a bother. We do not get much foot traffic through here, so we are always happy to help those who search out.
Anyway, thank you for your time, and I will salute and bow again.
She turns back and puts the letter away after she returns the gesture. Red, you said you stayed back, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you stayed in the room with the family?
Yeah, I'm just sitting in one of the pews, kind of admiring it.
You hear Martha, she's like, "Child, take me outside for a little bit. Let me get some fresh air before they lock us in for the evening." And she kind of situates herself up and stands up and very slowly and gingerly walks over to you.
To me?
To you.
Oh.
About to get mugged.
Stop.
Or burnt.
Sorry.
She started the own fire.
Sorry, I think you're confused. I am not Claire.
No, but you are a child, are you not?
I mean, that's a little condescending. I mean, I guess in comparison to you, I am.
Yes, most are children compared to me. And she holds out her hand and smiles. She's like, "Come, the fresh air will do us both good."
Sure, why not?
So as she does that, she walks out through the door. Just about the time you guys finished your conversation across the other room, that's when you finally see them getting to the front door. They walked really slow. She's had a rough day. You can see them get to the front of the church and to the doors in the front.
I'll go run up and assist, like give her my arm to hold on to or something.
Oh, and she gladly takes it. Thank you very much. That is quite helpful.
Oh, no problem.
She reaches out for the door and it opens very, very easily. And with your assistance, she walks out. And as you guys get out to the front steps, does everyone follow?
I'm gonna keep my hand
inside
on top of her wrist, just lightly holding it. But
yep, and she just holds the one arm. She doesn't do anything. She fully accepts any help she can take from you.
I would follow them out as well, yes.
I guess I'm
Not
the odd one
necessarily
out.
very close, but a bit of a distance.
You get outside and she just kind of stands there and breathes in the sea air for a little bit before she turns to you and she says, "Those sands are more important than they make it be. There's someone who wants them." Last week, right before they got into town and right as I got into town, I found a letter under the door addressed to me at my sister's shop. She handed it to me, and it was unsettling. It was threat that if I didn't dump the sands that they were bringing to ship across the ocean, if I didn't dump them in the bay, then they were going to kill us.
Grandma Martha, did you tell the authorities this little bit here that you're telling us?
Yes, I don't want to say it in front of the family. They've been through enough. Little ears. They don't need to hear such things.
Very understandable.
I didn't think it would actually happen, and I don't know how it happened. But it seems like someone wants these, and I don't know a reason. I've been taking pigments for all of the cathedrals for years, and never once has anyone given me any trouble. They said that if I didn't put them in the bay, that they were going to sink the ship they were on their way to the Bright Mother's Cathedral.
That seems a little excessive.
Thought it was excessive and quite unsettling. Which is why, and she takes the vial and she pulls out and she hands you a vial of yellow sand.
She does.
Was this all they were after, or is this like barrels of it?
This is all they were after. This is all we are ever commissioned to collect. Just an ounce or two. As soon as I saw that, I went to visit, and I'm glad I got it out of there, because I don't know what they want with it. But whatever it is, if they're willing to kill for it, I can't let them hurt the mothers like that.
Most definitely not.
Mm-mm.
And you don't have any inkling what this could be used for?
The only thing I've ever known is paint. Otherwise, it's got all the same characteristics of sand. She kind of holds it out farther, and she's like, I don't know what this is, but whatever we have gotten ourselves into, it was unintentional. I don't want any bad befalling this family.
Do you want us to take it off your hands? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. If you could bring it to the Bright Mother, I think it would arrive safer. It was set to go out on the Moonflower in the morning. But I don't think it's safe on that ship anymore, and I fear that if it goes there, the ship will sink.
We'll take it for you.
She hands it over to you, and you see this like relief of, it's not on my person, hopefully they don't hunt me, kind of relief, like extreme. She's like, I don't know how I can repay you other than what they gave me to transport it to the ship, and she takes out 10 gold pieces. And she says, this was my part of the commission. I was only supposed to take it on the ship and go.
Mm-hmm.
I did not sign up for this.
I appreciate this, but you're right. You may still be in danger, so whomever asks about it, or just let people know that a band of adventurers has it now.
I will let them know.
Preferably, say, gnomish height and of stocky build. You know, the exact opposite of what we look like.
Lying isn't my strong suit, but I will do my best.
I've often found that the best lies have a kernel of truth to them. As long as you can make them believe most of what you're saying, they won't question the rest.
I will have to practice that. Hopefully it'll never come into practice. Actual reality practice.
Hopefully.
I'd remind Claire not to spread it that we were so heavily involved in your case with the burning and such.
No, we've been trying to keep her calm and to not go shout it to the hills. But we will do our best, as anyone does with a small child.
Mm-hmm. She's pretty precocious. She can handle it.
She's quite the amazing little girl. She kind of turns to you. Well, better head back in. I think I need to lie down again. And she kind of reaches and puts a little bit more weight on you, Fertile, as you can see a weight has been lifted off her, but yet she feels very run down and heavy.
Did we
I
accept
accept it.
that bag of gold from her?
She handed it out. I know you took the sand.
Did we?
Right, that's what I'm...
Are we pretty poor right now? I don't remember if we're poor in this one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we kind of are.
I'll take it.
Level 2 poor.
Yeah. I couldn't remember where we're at.
10 gold is a hefty amount for you guys.
Indeed, and I don't feel right accepting all of this. You put in the work to collect the sands as well, did you not?
I was only supposed to collect it from the family and take it to the ship. That was my adventure, was the sea.
My understanding is
I haven't
you've
gone on
done
it
part
yet.
of that already.
I
You've
retrieved the
collected it
sand, yes.
independently. So, I mean,
I think we're just
my
transferring
opinion,
the job.
you
You're right.
have at least some
Yeah,
of the reward.
I would be very thankful for anything. This is how I make my living, usually. But take what you need. She hands you the whole bag, and she just holds it out to you. She's like, you are saving me from a very dangerous journey.
Indeed.
Fine. I'll take it. Here's the gold.
I mean,
Thank you.
Either keep it or pay the healers.
seems fair.
Rebuild your shop. Whatever.
Well, my sister's shop is still in pretty good shape, but I will probably use it to help rebuild the house. It seems only fair. I did not mean to get them involved. I did not know what would come until I got here a few days ago.
I don't suppose anybody would have thought that would happen, so...
So she kind of turns back, and she is, with hopefully Fertle's assistance, turning back to the room where she was going to go lay down. She thanks everyone for their help. Claire comes up and gives you guys hugs, if you will accept them.
Yes.
She is very thankful. Comes up to each of you and hugs your legs. Thank you. But as they do that, the priestesses lead you out to the street. The sun has set now. You are quite a few blocks away from the Silverfish Inn. Before you did leave, Martha did tell you that her sister's shop is only about one street down, and then at the end of the port, the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you said it was in the evening at this point now?
Yeah.
Probably a bit later now that we've sat and talked with them for a bit. But...
Yeah, it'd probably be about 6 right now, almost 7. You had noticed when you went and brought Martha back in, they all had some type of meal cooked for everyone in that room. So it was right around dinner time, maybe a later dinner than most, but...
I mean, we're staying at the inn currently, but I mean, we've got a bit of a walk towards the shop. Does anybody want any street food on the way? I mean, presumably towards the harbor and things like that, there would be a vendor or two.
You just eat food that's been left out on the street?
No. It's a term for the food.
That's where you...
It's a term for the food. It is a very legitimate thing, and we're not just eating garbage off the street.
Oh, okay.
It's a vendor who sells on the streets, not in a shop.
What's
Correct.
a vendor?
Uh-huh.
You know what? Just show me on the way. I'll
just show you. It's going to be much easier to explain.
Provided there is one to show.
Provided there is one, yeah.
You are in luck. If you do
Today's
go
a
the
holiday, everything's closed. And...
It's Sunday, how could it?
Right.
So you do go, you're going one street down towards the shop? Or are you turning up and going the distance back up to the inn?
That would be a question for the group, I suppose. Do we want to go check out her sister's shop, or...
Well, it's late, and we have... Isn't it?
6-ish?
You know, I'm not... Did I get a chance to eat lunch, or did the fire kind of interrupt that? I know the others did, but I don't know if I did.
You got a little bit, because it was there. How much you finished, I'm not sure, but there was food for you, and you did sit down for a little bit.
Right.
But between talking with them too, I'm not sure.
So I'm probably hungry.
Most likely.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm kind of hungry, and it's kind of late. And I did kind of say if there was people there, I was going to try and perform during dinner today. It's probably a little late for that, but I don't know.
Well, it's a tavern. I think the night is still young.
That's true.
Be flat. Sorry. Song came into my head. Anyway, if you caught that reference. Ooh. It's not too late. Yeah, it's definitely a tavern. You would guess that dinner would probably actually be more in full swing in an hour or two.
Oh, okay.
Closer to like 8 o'clock. Usually, being a tavern, they'd be open a little later.
Mm-hmm.
So were we kind of close by the water where we were?
That's my understanding. Is we're very close to the harbor itself.
Yeah, you're about one street down from the docks. So where the apothecary shop is right along the docks. And there's not a ton of space. So you're pretty much only, 2 blocks away from the water itself.
Okay. Well, we were heading back towards the tavern, right? Which is further away from the water.
At the moment. If we're heading back towards the tavern, or if we're going to Martha's sister's apothecary. See if there's anything there we could glean, or if we just head back for the night.
Was that Miss May, the one we got the potion from?
So, you recall there's Martha May, and she did mention it's her sister. So also last name May. So it would be a secondary Miss May.
So Martha
We did
May was
have,
the apothecary.
Howard or Damien, I think, went to an apothecary to order some potions, but we don't know exactly who they went to.
Correct.
That's what I remember.
Correct.
Yep, so there's that apothecary they talked about, and then Martha's sister.
Gotcha. Two
You
separate.
don't know
Oh,
if
two
they're
separate.
the same person, but
Possibly two
they
separate.
are two separate entities as of right now in your mind.
Definitely an apothecary in this city,
Correct.
for certain.
And you do know that there was more than one, because they had mentioned that this is the one that they frequented. There are a couple. So as you guys gather up whatever you need as you go north to the tavern, you're not grabbing street food on your way, you're going to the tavern, right?
We could grab street food.
I mean, we could do both.
I mean, we could.
You see a couple of stands out, not a ton, but a couple. Most of them are seafood, fish, crab, some oysters that they have. There is like a little baker set up, a little stand, open window in the front. But pretty much what you would find where fish is the most abundant resource.
Mm-hmm.
As we were then leaving that area, going away from the water, as the group starts heading that way, I hold back just a moment and I look out over towards where the water is and kind of just stare over that way. Look back over towards the group, take one last look at the water, and then start walking the way they went.
Of the street vendors, is there any in particular that look dirtier than the rest?
Roll a perception.
Man, my first time eating street food, and you're gonna find a live street food place?
Because presumably the dirtier it is, the busier they are, and the less time they have to clean it.
You don't notice any that are particularly more dirty than another one.
All right, well, I'll just go up to one of them, I suppose.
Inspect for dust.
Yep, inspect for dust. No. I guess presumably they might have like a fish and chips sort of deal, so I would look to buy that, because that sounds really good right now.
It does. Ooh, yummy. So definitely there's like a big pot of boiling oil, and they put both the fish and the wedged root vegetable into the deep fryer-esque containment device. All in one, and they scoop it out with this big mesh and put it in like a more of a napkin, paper towel-esque kind of thing. No fancy plates, like a cone, and kind of hand it to you like that.
Yep. Oh, very familiar.
Yummy. Oil dripping down your arm.
Heck yes.
It's warm. Warmth. As I'm wearing hand warmers.
Right. How much
Anyone else ordering anything, or is it just the one?
I'll have something as well.
So, Red, this is what we meant by a street vendor. This is a gentleman that sells food.
On the
as
street.
it gets prepared on the street.
Maybe you guys should call it cart food because there's no food on the street and it's really confusing.
Cart food actually does make more sense. Yes, cart food it is.
Do you mind if I use that as a sales pitch?
As a what?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Works for me.
You're
He
fine
writes
to
it
use
down.
I guess I'll have one of what he was having.
So, Bree, you tall and back. Did you want anything as well?
Yeah, I'll take a little something you have extra. Something left?
Yeah. It'll be 8 copper pieces, and he throws a
this.
whole bunch more into the fryer. Takes a couple minutes, scoops them out, puts them in their own little paper cones, and hands them to parchment cones. There we go, and hands them to you.
I'll pass him a silver piece.
Ah,
Big
thank you
spender, I
kindly.
know, but
Oh, he's happy for it. That is a good tip for the day. He pockets
Wait.
it.
I eat and take a bite first.
Ooh, I'm gonna roll for flavor. Ooh, it's a little less than mediocre. The fish might be a little rubbery, but
Are you sure this wasn't on the ground first?
I'm not entirely certain anymore.
I think you might have dropped it.
I rolled
Don't
an
worry about
8.
it. We'll go. The root vegetable's at least decent.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to do that one right. That one's not too bad.
I just take a couple bites and that's enough.
Red, normally they're much better than this. I apologize.
I think the
Cart
problem
food.
is he dunked it in that oil.
No, that's part of the cooking process. They need to do that. That's what heats it up.
Are you saying this in front of the vendor? Or...
No.
Okay, so you just walked away and then commented on his
No.
poor culinary skills.
So we wait until we're at least 5 feet away before loudly proclaiming.
So loud he still heard you.
Well, I mean, he rolled an 8 on his cooking skills. I'm not sure. He definitely heard you. That was a 19. Oh.
Oh, no, the intent was at least a little ways away and then whispering that, so.
No, he's busy cleaning up the little oil splatters or whatever. Happy he made a sale. As you guys munch on towards your tavern, you can hear it before you see it. The food smells better than what you have eaten.
Might need to eat again. I didn't think I'd need to do that, but I guess I'm going to need to.
And you can see the light and the warmth, and you can hear quite a few voices coming out. You walk in, and about half of the tables have a couple of patrons. There's no groups bigger than 3. It seems like a very mellow place, usually, on the edge of town. There's you see the boy who had been helping out. He's like, "Welcome back. We kept your table open for you in the back."
Perfect.
Do we see
That was
Howard
kind.
or
Damien or Ariel?
Damien or Ariel? Yeah.
In fact, you do see them. You see Ariel and Howard. You do not see Damien. They are sitting at the table right next to yours. And they're already eating. They both have a glass of ale. They are enjoying themselves. They are a little more relaxed than they were earlier today.
Are there a lot of people around us right now, or not too many?
I would say there's about 7 total in the room, and that includes the 2, Ariel and Howard as well. There's a group of 3 sitting in the other back corner, as well as 2 individuals by themselves.
Anyone who's particularly tall and wearing a black cloak? Just checking the room.
As you do a quick scan, roll an investigation.
Oh,
Everyone's wearing black cloaks.
Yeah, you are judging and picking out everyone's clothing. You might not be shuffling through it, but you are definitely x-raying everything with your eyes.
Okay, let's see here. Perception, you said, or what was it? Investigate.
Investigation. I think that one. Okay. You don't see any particularly large beings, nor do you see any black cloaks.
Okay. I would like to sit down with Ariel with my back turned towards as much of the room as possible and pull out the vial of sand. And
she looks at you, smiles, looks down at the sand, frowns, looks up at you, very confused. Where? Oh
no.
Oh dear. Where did you get that?
Well, see, the older woman who was in that fire earlier today, which I'm sure you've heard about, she gave it to us to deliver. She had mentioned that it's more than what it seems.
I heard there was a fire, and I did hear that you were involved, and I was hoping to come back and discuss that with you here. That is very odd. I've never actually seen it this close before. I've seen.
So you know what it is?
Yes, I am a cleric for the Dark Mother. I have learned about this sand. I've never had it in this close proximity before. That is a very special item you hold. But why does it attach to the fire? And them?
Well, the woman thought that this might have been what they were after. She was threatened earlier. Was told to dump it in the bay.
It is probably safest in one of the cathedrals. Do you know which cathedral had requested this color?
Do I?
Wasn't that the Bright Mother?
I know it was the Bright Mother's temple, but I assume there's more than one in the whole land, right?
But because this is like the temple, like what we're from, right? Like it's
Correct.
The main temple.
Oh, okay, okay,
yes,
gotcha.
You have the temples, yeah. And then you have the cathedrals. The cathedrals are going to be the capital, the main hold of where an oracle would live to connect with one of the mothers.
So we're going to a temple of the Bright Mother, right?
Yes.
That's what it. Okay.
To the cathedral, the main place.
We're going to the cathedral.
It's it's
or
destined
it's supposed
to the cathedral.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's what I tell her.
Perfect. They would most likely be safest there. Do you have a means of getting it there? Otherwise, I know that if we go back to the Dark Mother's Cathedral in Velvac, we would be able to figure out a way there. But that's a lot of traveling. You'd probably have to go to a port city after as well still.
And does Howard need to go again?
He
The
goes to
same
our
direction?
temple.
Okay,
Yep.
no. Okay.
Oddly enough, roughly the same direction.
I was gonna try and look at the map, and I'm like, I don't know. Okay.
Yes, so
Well,
you guys are all down by Charity Falls.
Yep.
Where they're taking, right up to Veilvec, right up there.
Mm-hmm.
That is where they were taking Howard back to. He
Okay.
was over in the Crystal Islands, and they were traveling through back.
Okay. And where is
They had-
the cathedral?
The cathedral is in Veilvec, like the very center. It's the main peak.
The temple to the Bright, or the cathedral to the Bright Mother.
Oh, to the Bright Mother.
Yeah.
So the Bright Mother is actually not on this continent. It is across the ocean, up in Parastine. It is the Kulta Mountain, the Mountain of Gold.
Gotcha.
It kind of makes sense with the
So we
Bright
could get to
Mother.
Veilvec and then head that direction, right? Like.
Yeah, so there is a port city farther north of you, north of the city of Veilvec, as well. But it's going to be closer to the top of the peninsula.
Okay. Because I don't want to like drag Howard all over, you know.
I think we could finish what we're doing and then do this afterwards.
DM.
Ariel reaches in. She's like, well, we did get a couple potions, but she does have to make them. But I have 2 for you right now.
Excellent.
And she says, consider it a gift from us as a thank you for saving us and helping Howard. And she gives you 2 common potions. I know you, Mihara, had requested 3. She does not have those all made yet.
That's all right.
She says, yes, the apothecary I went to, she said she'll have it ready hopefully by tomorrow evening. She's down by the dock. Pretty easy to find. It's Miss May's Medicines.
Oh, Miss May. Look, it's a
This is
recent
the same one as Martha's, right?
This is 100% Martha's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Is that why you're smiling over there? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Plot-wise, it makes sense, I guess.
Oh, 100%, yeah. No, I just find it funny that we're debating, like, no, it can't be the same one. No, it was.
Totally.
Well, and I couldn't just come out and say that it was right away. I mean, you guys were questioning it. It's fun to watch you question everybody, except for the one person who had information, by the way.
Saw that happening, too.
Yeah.
But, I totally saw that. As soon as Fertile said I'm not going to talk to her, I was like, awesome.
I thought she was just crazy. Like, I thought
I'm with you.
They were trying to lock her in there and off her, and like the mom just kind of accidentally got in there, and that she's just nutso. But I don't think she's really nutso. I think she's just a sweet little old lady who maybe bit off a little more than she can chew for a few years.
A very scared lady indeed. Very shaken. But she hands these to you. She's like, she has the one you made. Did anyone else request any as well?
Nope.
I don't think so. I don't
remember now.
DM, I have a quick question for you. You may have already stated this, but I just want to double check. You said that Sorry, one sec. Keep forgetting freaking names. Damien was not here, right?
Correct. He is not here.
How tall is Damien?
Give me a second. I will look that directly up. I can do that. Oh, if this isn't so glitchy.
He was human, yes. If I recall, Damien was appeared human at least.
Yeah.
Yes, humanoid. I will. Okay, come on. Leg is difficult. He is human and he is just over 6 feet tall.
Okay. Ariel, when was the last time you saw Damien? Or where is Damien?
Well, he went down to the docks at one point after we were done, grabbed some of the fish from one of the fishermen there, got a pretty good deal on it.
Cart food.
No,
That's not the one we
no.
went to.
It was on the docks, so maybe I don't know where you went.
What was his purpose for going down to the docks?
He went and grabbed us some fresh fish, and then he was going to bring them up to the local butcher and hopefully be able to get some more meats for the travels. And then he wanted to prepare them and preserve them for the ride.
If my memory serves as well, when the fire was called out, he was in the room with Howard and Ariel, right?
No, they had all left already.
No, they had left.
Right.
Okay, I thought they went into a room like as soon as we got there. Sorry, my fault.
They did. They took their room and we sat and chatted and had some lunch and stuff like that first.
And then
Then the little girl came in after they had left and been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Might be rabbit hole thinking, but
she goes, I know he knows more about cooking than I do, usually. Anyway, he went to go dry out the meats a little bit. He was in the kitchens earlier. He offered some to the tavern. That's why our meal is so great tonight. It's not just fish. In case you're wondering, there is some pork dish as well. Difference.
Variety.
no, that'd be good for supper. Thank you. I was just curious.
Yes. He was still in back last I checked, but would you like to join us for dinner? She holds her arm up and tries to flag down the server boy who's been running around, and he kind of waves back and 1 second, gives her 1 second, and then finishes talking to who he's talking to before he comes over to you guys. He's like, yes, ma'am. Can I grab you guys anything? Food, drink?
Do you have any more of that crystal clear river water?
Yes. I will make sure that the river water is crystal clear.
Okay, make sure you get the crystal clear, because last time it wasn't quite so clear. Had a little bit of a muddy taste to it. I mean, I understand when you're in a hurry, sometimes you scoop down too far, but you know.
I'll do better this time.
Thank you.
Is there anyone not quite as picky?
I believe the rest of us.
Oh, God.
Oh. Well, we have... We have some fresh caught fish in back. Otherwise, they did bring us some pork. They brought about half a pig back, and were very generous to share it as long as, it's cooked. We were told we had to cook it, that they weren't going to, but then Damien came in and he started cooking it.
I guess that sounds about right.
Little I've known Damien, that sounds accurate.
But I can go grab you a pork, fish.
Do you have a salad?
Yeah, we have some
Greens?
dandelion greens, yeah.
Just greens for me, thank you.
I
I'm
can
not
do that.
into the trout and snout. Surf and turf. Sorry.
I got it. That was good.
I got it.
Thank you.
I did
I'm
not
quite as
specify the
picky.
fish, and I'm
I'll take an
glad.
order of trout and snout, please.
I will do trout and snout. Yes, one.
Trout and snout.
Some greens.
I'm waiting for her to leave.
do
Do you mind if we
pork.
use that?
The little boy, teenage boy, doesn't seem too interested in taking your slogans. But you could go petition for the right to buy it from you to the tavern keeper.
No, I don't plan on coming back.
Would you two ladies like anything as well?
I think I'll have fish. That sounds good.
I'll take some tea, please.
Oh, tea would go well. At least at the very
I
least, you're
can do that
boiling
for
anything
you.
out of the water then.
Yes, exactly.
So he takes your order in his mind, and he's running through it. Okay, I got this. And he goes in the back. He's gone for a little bit, but after a little while, he comes out with 2 very hot cups of tea and a mug of water. Mihara, I don't believe you ordered a beverage.
No, I did not.
So those are the 3 he sets down. And then goes back to the kitchen, is gone for a few minutes more, and comes out with your food as well. If you need anything else, I'll be in back supervising the kitchen. And he goes back to the kitchen. At this point, Howard stands up. He's like, well, I'm ready for bed. For some reason, feels like I have this weird sluggishness. I don't think that water was good to drink.
Right.
Are you meaning the one from yesterday or from today?
Yesterday.
Yeah, no, that wasn't good for you to drink.
No,
Definitely
I'm feeling
would
it now.
Keep your
Ladies,
chamber
gentlemen.
close at hand.
Yeah, that's a good thing. The window is right next. I can just do it in the street and match everybody else's. And he gets up and shuffles off back to the little back room.
So, Ariel, when are we planning on heading out to Velvek?
We were hoping to head out, hopefully tomorrow afternoon if we can travel. If not, if the potions aren't quite done, probably the following morning.
So, a day or
On foot,
two?
or were we planning to go by ship?
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
On foot or by ship?
On foot. We would be heading up through the Naide Mountains along the coast, all the way up to Velvek.
Is that how we got here as well?
Yes. So where they had made it is they had got to the port city, set out probably about midday, made it to the bottom of Charity Falls, made camp, lost Howard in the caves to his research, stayed an extra night because he asked them to. And that is where you guys came in, was the following day, and they were very perturbed that he was taking this much time looking for stuff.
Okay.
She also seems a little bit perturbed that she has to wait for the potions before they leave as well, but a little less, being they are very much life-saving devices.
Right.
Very true. Was also going to suggest that we go by foot. I don't think it would be best right now if we travel by ship. Just a feeling, if you will.
I was gonna ask you how you knew that, but I guess feelings as it is.
Yes, I did not enjoy our sea journey. I was sick for quite a few days. Eventually it did subside, and I am not looking forward to another journey. She kind of wraps up her meal, pushes her plate to the end, leaves a silver piece on the table, and she says, if you need anything, we will be in the back. I'm gonna go make sure Damien hasn't told them how bad my cooking is. I made one good meal.
Are we back in the corner still?
Yes, I think that's where we sat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess after she leaves the table, I will proceed to then eat.
Or you won't eat when anyone else is nearby. See how you are.
Well, there's still 3 people next to me at the moment.
I was teasing.
Far as why I don't feel comfortable taking the ship, or Elena, since I don't believe was there. Martha had mentioned that the ship that was carrying the sand, or should be carrying the sand, might be sunk if the sand makes it aboard.
Oh, that's right. There was something about that.
So, a thought would be for one of us, perhaps, as we are, whether we like it or not, maybe attached to this, go down to the docks, meet with one of the captains, and look like we're exchanging something with him.
Oh, thank you for coming up with the idea, trying to make him think it was there, because I couldn't think of anything.
We leave town as we planned, with Howard.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate what may or may not happen to that ship, but we will be safely on our way.
Oh, I mean, I guess.
I have no problem doing that. I could even fill up another vial with not bright yellow sand.
Or make something look like yellow sand.
We
Very
could.
true as well.
Right. We could figure that out
Maybe
tonight.
we'll find something at the apothecary tomorrow.
That's a fair point.
That's true.
Like sulfur. Just crush up some sulfur.
There's other ways to
And
make
really,
dyes. Maybe we
as
could do
well.
like dandelions or something crushed up with some white sand or something.
I think it would be
Maybe
worth
also-
a shot.
As you guys are all discussing this, you see the group of 3 stand up and leave the tavern, so it is now only 2 other patrons inside of the tavern as well. It appears that was the rush.
That was the rush.
Haven't seen anyone else come in. They did mention before it's not a very busy establishment, but it does get busier at night, and by busier they meant 3 people.
3 versus 2, though.
Mm-hmm.
It was busier.
It was busier.
But it's kind of calming down in here. There is no more chitter chatter from the table across the way. As your evening meal comes to a close, your plates get cleared away from you. Is there anything else you would like to do before climbing up to your loft space?
We just have the one loft, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just
So,
Yeah,
one
it was
room.
just
one
was making sure.
room loft. As well as the other room where Ariel and Howard and Damien are,
Right.
which you assume to be the kitchen / pantry / everything room.
Okay.
And
At
we
least
definitely
that's where
lucked out with the privacy that we will have.
Right.
Roll for spoon. Who's going to be big and little?
Oh boy. Everyone rolls their blankets and puts his barriers in between everyone instead of sleeping with them over them.
We're just
Right.
like
Section yourself off. So as you guys all kind of wrap up your meal and climb up to bed, you hear the door open and close yet another time as one person has presumably left. The darkness kind of fills the room as the candles slowly flicker out about 10-11. You guys all drift off to sleep. And we will pick up when you wake up next time.
next time. Yes.
I'm not laying time restraints on it this time. So I will see everyone next time.
Farewell.